All right, let's talk about something that affects every single one of us, our mental well-being. Today, we're not just going to talk about it, though. We are going to build something. Think of it as a toolkit packed with practical, actionable tools you can use every day to build a stronger, healthier mind.
You ever have one of those days, or, maybe one of those weeks, where you just feel stuck? Like you're in a rut, replaying the same negative thoughts over and over, and it just feels like the color has been drained out of everything. Yeah, we've all been there.
But here is the really good news, the part that's so empowering. You are not destined to stay stuck in that feeling. You actually have the power to build your way out. It's all about creating this mental toolkit full of strategies designed to help you break those cycles and bring that joy back into your life. Okay, tool number 1, let's dive right in. This first one is maybe the most fundamental. It's all about rewiring the very way you think, becoming the director of your own inner world instead of just a passive observer.
The official name is cognitive restructuring. I know, it sounds a little clinical, doesn't it? But the idea is super simple and practical. It's not about forcing yourself to just be positive. It's about becoming a detective for your own thoughts, learning to spot the ones that are unhelpful or just plain wrong, and then consciously swapping them for thoughts that are more balanced and true.
So let's make it real. Picture this. You get a bad grade on something you really tried hard on, and bam, this is the automatic thought that pops into your head. Listen to those words: dumb, hopeless, never. They're so final, so absolute. That kind of thinking doesn't just make you feel awful. It literally convinces you to stop trying.
And now, look at this. Same situation, totally different thought. This is the reframe. It acknowledges reality. This was a difficult task. It separates the event from your identity. One bad result doesn't mean I have failed. And most importantly, it creates hope. I know I can do better next time. See the difference? You go from helpless to hopeful just by changing the story you tell yourself. Okay, that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you even catch these thoughts when they're so quick and automatic? Well, the great thing is, our brains tend to make the same kinds of mistakes over and over, and we can learn to spot them.
Psychologists call these little brain glitches cognitive distortions, like catastrophizing. That's when a small worry turns into the absolute worst-case scenario in your head. Or mind reading, when you're just convinced you know what someone else is thinking about you, usually something negative, without a shred of proof. Just being able to put a name to these patterns is the first step to taking away their power. So once you spot one of these thought traps, you can challenge it. And my absolute favorite way to do that is step 3, be your own best friend. Just ask yourself, what would I say to my best friend if they were in this exact situation? I bet you'd be way more compassionate and reasonable with them than you are with yourself. It's such a simple but powerful way to get some perspective. Okay, let's move on to our second tool. If the first tool was all about thinking, this one is all about doing. It's built on a really cool idea. Our actions have a direct, powerful impact on how we feel. And that brings us to behavior activation. The logic here is so simple yet so profound. When we start to feel down, our natural tendency is to pull back. We stop doing the things we love, which, of course, just makes us feel worse. It's a classic downward spiral. This tool is designed to deliberately break that cycle by getting you to proactively schedule positive activities back into your life, even when you don't feel like it. So how does it work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You start by just noticing what you're already doing and how it makes you feel. Then you make a list of things that bring you either enjoyment or a sense of accomplishment. And then, this is the real game changer. You treat those activities like they're critical appointments. You put them in your calendar and you protect that time, no matter what. And your activity log can be super basic. You don't need a fancy app. You just play tennis, and then afterwards you note down enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Boom, that's data. That's a huge signal from yourself to yourself saying, hey, this stuff works, do more of this.
And here's a really critical point. It's not just about scheduling fun. Sometimes the biggest mood boosts come from a sense of achievement.
I mean, cleaning your room might be a 1 out of 10 for enjoyment,
but the feeling afterwards, that feeling of control and accomplishment, that could be a solid 7.
Our brains need both. We need pleasure, but we also crave that feeling of getting things done.
All right, on to our third and final tool. We've looked at our thinking, we've looked at our doing, and now we're going to shift our focus to the simple but incredibly difficult art of just being. This is where mindfulness enters the picture. Now, these two words get used almost interchangeably, but there's a really helpful distinction. Think of it like this. Mindfulness is the state you're aiming for, just being aware of the present moment without judging it. Meditation, well, meditation is the gym. It's the formal workout you do for, say, 10 minutes a day to build up your mindfulness muscle so you can use it anytime, anywhere. And there's a very good reason why this workout has become so popular. The benefits are real. It can literally slow down those racing thoughts we talked about earlier. It helps you unhook from negativity instead of getting swept away by it, calming down your whole nervous system. It's a proven way to reduce stress and anxiety. But, and this is so important to say, we need to be realistic. Mindfulness is an amazing tool, but it is not a magic cure-all. Research is clear that it is not a standalone treatment for serious mental health conditions, and it doesn't outperform proven therapies like CBT. So think of it as a valuable, powerful part of the toolkit, but not the entire workshop. So there we have it. We've packed our mental well-being toolkit with 3 powerful evidence-based strategies: a tool for our thoughts, a tool for our actions, and a tool for our state of being. Now, the only question that matters is, what are you going to do with them? It really boils down to these 3 simple, powerful verbs. Rewire your thinking, schedule your well-being, and practice the present moment. These aren't just ideas, they are actions. They are skills that you can build day by day, starting right now. So I'll leave you with this one final question. Don't try to master everything at once. That's a recipe for feeling overwhelmed. Instead, just ask yourself, what is one small step I can take this week? Just one. Maybe it's challenging one negative thought. Maybe it's scheduling one activity you enjoy. Maybe it's sitting for just 2 minutes to practice being present. What's your one smart step? Thanks for joining me.